Good morning, Silver and Black Nation. Welcome to the Silver and Black Lair. I'm your host, the Bat Frie, Kenny Fry. TGIF. Thank God it's freaking Friday, man. Holy Christ, what a long-ass week this has been. I got a comment here. There we go, Eileen. What's up, Eileen? How you doing? Good morning. Just saying hello, work calls, but I'll still have it up. There you go. You take care of your business there, Eileen, and keep me in the background. That's all I can ask for. I appreciate it very much. As long as I'm in the background, I'm happy. Speaking of happy, or not so happy, I should say, this past Sunday, the Raiders lost to the Chicago Bears. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. As a fan, I can't even. It's hard for me to put. I'm glad I didn't go on after the game. I thought about going on the next day. It's something I'm trying, like different schedules, see what works and stuff. And so I was at my daughter's softball games last Sunday. Freaking freezing. It was windy. It was cold. And I'm trying to watch the game, in between innings and stuff like that, in between games. And I'm checking my phone, and it just the scores it's getting worse and worse by the minute. It's like, what the hell? We're 3 and out. The Bears are going on long sustained drives, can't stop the goddamn run. And I'm just after the game, I haven't been this angry after a game in a while. I mean, the Raiders have done a lot of losing. These past 20 years, since the Super Bowl in 2003, we've done a lot of losing. A couple okay seasons, a couple of playoff seasons, but a good 90% losing seasons here. 95% losing. Period. Not just seasons, but games. It's been so bad for so long, and I felt. I don't want to say overconfident. I felt confident going into that game that we can go in, we can handle our business. I wasn't very happy with Hoyer starting, but I'm like, all right, I get it. Veteran, you want to go in, establish yourself, get the win, get the hell out of there. When Aiden O'Connell started against the Chargers, it's one of those things like, Chargers are a good team. You have Aiden O'Connell starting against them. Wasn't really expecting to win. At least I wasn't, to be 100% honest with you. And but against the Bears, if you start Aiden O'Connell against the Bears, it's kind of one of those things like, are you going to miss an opportunity of grabbing a win here before Jimmy G comes back? And so you start the veteran Hoyer, 15 years, adjust this a little bit here, 15-year vet, been there, done that. Josh McDaniels trusts the guy. He trusts him. That's why he's with us. He trusts him. So I trust Brian Hoyer. That's why he's with us. It's not all on Brian Hoyer, but I'll tell you what, man. The guy hasn't, won a game, I think, since 2016. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why he's not starting. There's a reason why he's not seen game action since 2016. Whatever the hell it was. It's like as I was twitching, my eye was twitching. It's neck was stiffening up. There was no heart Sunday. There was no drive. There was no push. Thankfully, I could barely watch the game. Every time I get it up, I'd lose the stream, and that was really frustrating as well. But then, following it on ESPN, the game cast and stuff, you're just watching. Okay, 3 and out. Here we go again. 3 and out. Bears got the ball. Long, sustained, methodical drive down the field, run the ball. Their rookie Tyson. What the hell's his name? Tyson Bagent. from Division II Shepherd University. Fucking lost to a auto mechanical school or something like that. And then Division II national championship, throwing a couple of interceptions in areas, beating the piss out of us. The Las Vegas Raiders sitting at 500 at that point, looking to make a move in the standings. And he was efficient. He didn't make mistakes. There's our 15-year vet. We trust you, 15-year vet, Brian Hoyer. We trust you. Turning the ball over like a moron. Force feeding Devontae Adams the ball early on. Just got to give it to him. Got to give Devontae the ball. Keep throwing to him. Keep throwing to him. Keep throwing to him. All right, they're on to us. Well, let's force feed Jacoby Myers the ball. Let's go to him. Go to him. We're not going to progress. We're not going to go through progression. We're just going to force feed our wide receivers the goddamn ball. That's what we're going to do. Unbelievable. It's just Josh Jacobs. I mean, I guess losing. He can't really run as much, but still, 11 carries. Really, we weren't losing that bad where he could only get 11 carries. It's got a couple comments here. Probably laughing at me. No doubt. We got Adam Glenn here. Adam says, "What up? What up, Adam?" He also says, "No cursing." I'm sorry, Adam. I'm angry. Eileen likes the hat. I figured for Halloween I'm going to throw on my old Raiders, little soft helmets, almost like the old school leather helmets, kind of like that's how it's designed. It has the Super Bowls on. I've had it for a long time. But yeah, I figured this is the last show I'll have for this show before Halloween, so I figured I'll throw on the old. I was supposed to be on at 10 o'clock, and I'll tell you, sitting there, I was watching Monday Night Raw, getting ready for tomorrow's Atomic Drop podcast, and I fell asleep sitting up. So that's what happened to me there. So I was a little bit late today, a little bit tired. It was a long week. Good morning, Stacy. Thank you for checking the show out. I appreciate it very much. I just had myself a mental breakdown talking about the Raiders and Bears, and let's continue with that. All right. So anyway, going into the game, Jimmy G's hurt. Kind of rewind if you're watching the show, you're not a Raider fan, you don't know what the hell's he talking about. This is what I'm talking about. So Jimmy G's hurt coming in. He got hurt the week before. Halftime, and a back problem. They took him to the hospital, all that, tests and stuff like that. Everything turned out all right, but he was still hurt. So he didn't play this past week. So we had either Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell. Brian, like I said before, Brian Hoyer, the 15-year vet. The reason he's here is because Josh McDaniel trusts him. He's been in his system, the system that's gotten over 20 points per game. 20 has gotten over 20 points in a game once this season. And the only reason they got over 20 points, it was a 21-17 win. And the only reason they got over 21 points is because the defense got a safety late in the game. It's the only reason why they got over 20. It's all right. Anyway. Oh man. So Hoyer knows his system. He's been there, done that, been in all different sorts of situations and such. And so we start Hoyer. Aiden O'Connell, McDaniel's quote, people, a reporter asked him, why are we not starting Aiden O'Connell? He's like, well, we're not playing the preseason anymore. So that quote there just tells me the mindset of this clown that we have coaching us, Josh McDaniels, saying that we're not in the preseason anymore. So when we started Aiden O'Connell over Brian Hoyer against the Chargers, that was still the preseason, I guess. That wasn't week 3, week 4, whatever the hell it was. That was the preseason. What are you talking about? This isn't the preseason anymore. You started the guy over the veteran before. And now you're saying, well, we're not in the preseason anymore. That wasn't the preseason either. We're supposed to be playing to win the games. If you think Hoyer gives you the best chance to win a game over Aiden O'Connell, then why didn't he start against the Chargers? I'm baffled. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand. It's stuff like that just drives us as Raider fans absolutely insane with this guy. I like it's over and over and over again with this Josh McDaniels. The stuff that he's I rewind a little bit. I know he wants to do good. He wants to win. He's not doing this to lose because it hurts him. It hurts his reputation as a offensive guru. I feel like Dr. Evil from Austin Powers, Laser. He's a guru. Or I feel like Chris Farley from SNL. When he was doing that one skit. He's like, I don't bathe properly. I eat my own dandruff or whatever it was. I don't know. I don't know what the character's name was, but these guys get it. Look it up if you're not familiar with the Chris Farley skit. Chris Farley with the air quotes skit. It is really funny. I don't wipe properly. Stuff like that. It's really funny. It's really, really, really funny. Chris Farley does it better than I do it. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So anytime you can mention Chris Farley anywhere at any time, podcast or not, it's everything's going to be fine. So all this, like he doesn't want Josh McDaniels doesn't want to do bad. He wants to do well for the team. He wants the team to do well. He wants to call the right plays. He wants to do the right things because as he doesn't, it hurts him. It hurts his reputation. It hurts his chances after he gets his ass fired for the job he's doing here. It hurts him from getting another job. So it just doesn't make sense. The moves that we make, the plays that we call, the inconsistencies, it's head scratching, it's befuddling. I think I was listening to, or I think I read this actually. It was a reporter, whether or not this is legit or not, I don't know. Because there's so many, people that do this, a podcast that think they have inside information on the team or whatever. That actually doesn't. So when I read this quote or this story, a bunch of the comments on that story were from people saying like, oh, the dude doesn't even know anybody on the team. He doesn't have inside sources, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. But anyway, it kind of interested me. This guy, I don't know, can't remember who it was, said that Raider anonymous sources within the Raider organization, players, have been quoted as saying that the reason they're not doing well is because Josh McDaniels is not adapting. They're running an older type offense that has been seen a million times, and it's too predictable. They're getting up to the line of scrimmage. They said it happened multiple times throughout the game on Sunday against the Bears, where the Bears are just calling out the play. They know the play. And like I have a feeling that the success rate for a play, if the other team knows what it is probably be close to zero usually. So I mean, you've heard instances of players saying, "Hey, we're running this way," and still run that way and still make a big play. So, but still, it's the success rate is very low when the other team knows your plays. It's something that I've talked about before, and this is the Hunter Renfrow factor, in my opinion, where even Derek Carr. Last season you started hearing rumors near the end of the season about Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels constantly butting heads over play calling, where Josh McDaniels is calling plays and either Derek is disagreeing with those plays, or he'd get up to the line of scrimmage and audible out of the plays when Josh McDaniels would be pissed. One of the plays that comes to my mind would be, I think it was against the Chargers last season, where Josh Jacobs had that 90-plus yard run in overtime for the win. That wasn't the play call. From what I read a story last season, that wasn't the play call. It was some sort of like screen pass or whatever Derek got up to the line of scrimmage, saw what the defense was giving him, audibled out of it, handed it off to Josh Jacobs. He scores a 90-plus yard touchdown. Josh McDaniels was not happy, and it was a win. That doesn't make sense. Hunter Renfrow, the issue with Hunter Renfrow is that he doesn't run the routes the way Josh McDaniels wants him to run the routes. So the thing that made Hunter Renfrow a Pro Bowler was his ability to break off routes or to ad lib or to adjust his route. He and Derek Carr would be on in sync with each other, and he'd be able to break off these routes, make a catch. That's what made third and Renfrow so successful back then. Is the ability to let Renfrow go out there and paint, let the man work. Josh McDaniels doesn't like that because his system does not call for him to do that. It doesn't. That's what made him great. That's what made Hunter Renfrow work so well. That's what made him such a great outlet receiver. In third and shorts or whenever Derek was in trouble, he could find Renfrow, get 5, 6, 7 yards. Where Renfrow sometimes get a little squirrely out there, make a man miss, and make a big gain out of it. But we can't do that because, it's not the route that I called. Jesus, talk about ego. Holy Christ. It's completely asinine. And the play calling between him and Lombardi, it's frustrating. Offensively, like I said, trying to force feed Davante Adams and trying to force feed Jacoby Myers the ball over and over and over again while you have all these other weapons not even getting a look. Hoyer wasn't even going through his progressions. Hoyer looked like a rookie. Hoyer looked like it wasn't his 15th year. He looked like it was his first year, like a deer in the headlights. I mean, granted, a little bit of pressure on him. Couldn't get the run game going, even though we didn't really try it that often. Only 11 carries for Josh Jacobs. 11 carries, 35 yards. Hoyer was 17 of 32. 17 of freaking 32, and this is the guy that we trust. 129 yards. We threw the ball 32 times. Again, we lost 30-12. So looking at the score, you think, okay, it's a blowout. It wasn't that bad. I think it was 21. I think it was 21-3 at halftime. So, I mean, you're just a couple possessions out. Things can change real quick like that. It's not unheard of teams coming back, in the second half down by a couple scores, still being able to run their offense. And but if you don't have, if you don't know what your offense is, I guess you did run your offense then. It was just asinine. Again, there's that word. I must have said asinine, I think 6 or 7 times, 8 times now. Davante Adams, 7 catches, 57 yards, 12 targets. And on the first drive alone, I think they targeted him like 6 times. And then Daniel Carlson missed that field goal in the beginning of the game. It kind of let a little bit of momentum slip away there. The Raiders defense goes out there. They get a quick 3 and out. The offense moves the ball down the field by throwing it to Davante Adams the whole time. And, we stall, which is what we do on the offensive side. We stall. We're always settling for field goals. Start off on a great drive, moving the ball down the field, and then we just stall out. Whether it's the inside the red zone, just outside of the red zone, could be a penalty, could be a lost play. Then also we start dinking and dunking. Totally not Raider football. Raider football, used to be, which I get it. Sometimes you have to adapt to the times, but we have the players to do this where we can stretch the ball down the field. We don't have a quarterback that can do it though. We had a quarterback that can stretch the ball down. If Derek Carr had Trey Tucker this year, I'll tell you, I guarantee you, Trey Tucker would be a star right now. If Derek Carr was still on the team as the quarterback, Trey Tucker would be a star right now because Derek would have got that ball up to him a couple times. No doubt in my mind. Is this Adams last year? Davante Adams last year as a Raider? It could be. I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of talk. about potentially for the right deal trading Davante Adams away. I don't buy it, but for the right deal, you just never know. If you get some sort of amazing package, for Davante Adams, it's kind of hard to turn away from it. But it could be. He's not happy, and we're not winning. We're trying to get him the ball. When a receiver is pissed off because they want the ball, they're not getting enough looks, they're not getting whatever, and you're losing. That's when everything's going sour. If the receiver's bitching and moaning about not getting the looks, not getting the ball, but you're winning, everything seems to be a little bit better. Everything seems to be a little bit okay. They're still not happy. They're not getting the ball as much, but when they're winning, they're happier. If they're not getting the looks and you're on a shit team, well, they're not happy. They're going to be pissed. They're going to let you know they're going to be pissed. They're going to let the media know that they're pissed. So, and that's what's going on. I mean, Davante, I don't think it's anything I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I don't think it's anything to hurt the team. He's not saying to hurt the team. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. But he goes to the media, and as a leader, he tells them what's on his mind, and he's not wrong, to a point. But I mean, he's catching a lot of balls right now. But I mean, you look at his yardage. He's only going like 8 yards a catch, or less. 6 yards a catch, 7 yards a catch. That's not Davante Adams' style. Davante Adams, big plays, getting down the field, not getting them down the field, because our quarterback's not getting the time. They're not, our quarterbacks are not getting sacked a lot, but they're also not getting the time to stretch the field. But when they do, they're not doing it. It's a quick dump off, and that's it. Jacoby Myers, 7 catches, 50 yards. He had 13 targets. Then you look at the other side of this. Austin Hooper and Michael Mayer, our tight ends, a combined total of 6 targets. And Mayer had 4 of those. 2 catches, 13 yards. Renfro, 3 targets, and that's all in garbage time, all at the end of the game when Aiden O'Connell's in the game. Aiden O'Connell was 10 of 13, 75 yards, touchdown, and interception. Hoyer had 2 interceptions. That's what we're doing now. Trey Tucker, only 3 targets. 2 catches, 16 yards. Unbelievable. Defensively, nobody showed up to play there either. You knew the Bears were going to run the ball, not having Justin Fields at quarterback, their starting quarterback. Even their starting running back wasn't even in. But they had Deontay Foreman, and he ran the ball really, really well. What are you going to say? A big dude. He's not a east-west guy. He's a north-south guy, and he laid the wood. He did a hell of a job. 16 carries, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also caught 3 balls for 31 yards and a touchdown there. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns Deontay Foreman had against us. And we knew they were going to run the ball. We knew going in they were going to run the ball, and they ran it on us. 38 times, 173 yards, 4.6 yards a carry. And we knew they were going to do it. Nobody on defense showed the hell up. They should be embarrassed on defense. Just like the offense should be embarrassed. The defense has been carrying us. The offense hasn't been scoring, but the defense has been kind of carrying us, which is unheard of. And we go into this game knowing they're going to run the ball, and they slapped our peckers up and down the field. Up and down the field, back and forth. It's like watching Mo slap Curly around. That's what that was like. Curly could see it coming. He put the hand up so he didn't get poked in the eyes when they got slapped in the face or on top of the head. It's like the 3 goddamn stooges out there. I did say last week that Tyree Wilson was my rookie to watch, my out-of-the-box sports entertainment rookie to watch for the Bears game. He did end up having his first sack of the season as a rookie, as a Raider. So congratulations to him. Max Crosby, he had another sack. He probably played the best on both sides of the ball. He's our leader. He's our He's our Mr. Raider. He is that's who Max Crosby is. You're always going to get that effort. But the more we lose, the increasingly frustrated he is. Sooner or later, it's going to be one of those deals where he's going to demand a trade. Or you're not going to be able to re-sign him. So it's only a matter of time. I mean, with last thoughts on this game, because I'm getting pissed off just talking about it. But so the way this game broke down, quarterback wise, if we started Aiden O'Connell in this game and he went 17 of 32 for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns, I don't think I would have been as mad. It's a rookie, an away game, Chicago, windy, all that stuff. Okay. He's a rookie. I get it. But since it was Hoyer, 15 years, 16 years in the league, your trusted backup. It doesn't sit well. It pisses me off even more. Should have started O'Connell. It's a perfect spot to start O'Connell. Like I said, I understood why they went with Hoyer, but it's a perfect spot to start your rookie quarterback. See what you have. I don't know. You can look back on it all day, say shoulda, woulda, coulda, Monday morning quarterback stuff. When it comes down to it, we got beat up by the Chicago Bears. The 1-5 Chicago Bears, now 2-5 Chicago Bears. And they showed everybody, they exposed us. They showed everybody who we are. We're the same old Raiders. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to move on to there's no Monkey Cold Coffee player of the game because they all sucked ass. Like I said, Max Crosby, I felt like played the best, but he didn't have a terrific game either. He was kind of lost at times. Like I said, they did a hell of a job running the ball and pass. They mixed it up well. They're mostly run, but they did a good job mixing it up. I mean, you look at let me go back real quick to stats here. Tyson Bagent, 21 of 29. So right there's 29 passes, and I said before they ran 38 times. So it's pretty close to being a balanced offense right there. So there's a nice mix where you look at us. We threw the ball 47 times, and I think we ran the ball. I think it was like 22 times or something like that. I get it. The final score is 30-12, but at halftime it was 21-3. It wasn't a blowout. We were still in the game. The Bears are a bad team. So you're not really out of it. Why do we give up on the game plan? Why do we not try to run the ball a little bit more? I don't understand it. Try to balance that offense. Get it to your tight ends. Get it to goddamn Hunter Renfrow or Trey Tucker. Get it to somebody else. It doesn't always have to be Devontae Adams or Jacoby Myers. All right, we got a comment here. From our boy Paul Spencer. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Thanks for checking the show out. Aiden should be playing. You drafted him. Time to see what he has. He should have, at the very least, he should have started against the Bears. It would have been easier to take, with a performance like that. But he came in garbage time and played well. He had 10 of 14. He did throw another interception, but as a rookie, that's kind of the stuff that you learn. Taking care of the ball and reading the defense a little bit better. Now, there's no way you don't want to give up on a season either, but there's no way he's going to get better by doing a couple spot starts. He's not going to be able to adjust to the speed of the game, getting a start here, and then 6 weeks later getting a start here. That's a backup quarterback. You want to see if he's your quarterback of the future. Devontae Adams seems to really like him. He said he's one of the best rookies that he's seen in a while at the quarterback position. So, are we going to wait till the season's lost, Jimmy G's hurt again or whatever, until Jimmy G's out for multiple games, then throw O'Connell in there for a couple games? I don't know. One thing I do know is we better not see Brian fucking Hoyer again out there playing a game, unless it's during, he comes in, like a Jimmy G gets hurt in the second quarter, Hoyer comes in then. That's the backup quarterback. That's what he should do then. He should not be starting any goddamn games. 0 games that man should be starting. Coming in as a sub, I'm cool with that. It's a backup quarterback role. He's a backup quarterback. That's what backup quarterbacks do. They come in relief. But it's if the season keeps going this way, Jimmy G's should be back for Monday night against the Lions. The Raiders are going to get smoked. But if the season does get lost, we're sitting at 3-4 right now with games against Detroit, Giants, Jets, and Miami. Giants. They're struggling this season, but they're still not. I don't think they're a bad team. Jets, again, still a really good defense. Still not a bad team. So we could lose all 4 next games. I don't know. Then they got Kansas City, Minnesota, Chargers. It's got to win games like that. And this season could slip away really, really fast. Really fast. The Giants and Jets are going to be huge games if the Raiders can turn it around against some teams that are trying to find themselves. But Paul says on December 2nd, we might live stream the Trayshawn fight versus Hutchinson for our viewers privately on stream. Last year, how we watched it. Last year there's what Paul's talking about. Trayshawn had a Trigger Trayshawn Wiggins. That's one of my favorite names. Trigger Trayshawn Wiggins. I like that. But last year his title fight. I don't know if it was down in Florida or something like that. But we were able to live stream it for the guys on Out of the Box Sports Network. And we all a couple of us sat there and watched it, live as it was going on. It was pretty cool, actually. That's probably the first time I ever watched a boxing match. I don't watch boxing. I've watched UFC, many times, but boxing, I just not really my thing. But watching Trigger Trayshawn Wiggins work was pretty cool. I like that. It was pretty neat, and he came out the dub. So still champ. All right, so moving on to the Lions. Like I said, there is no Monkey Cold Coffee player of the game for last week. So I'm not even going to go to it. So now we move on to the Lions. And the Lions are coming off getting their pecker smacked as well. Worse than what the Raiders did. They're playing the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens beat them 38-6. And the one thing about that game, I wish I would have bet it. But there was an interesting I don't know if it was a stat or a tidbit or whatever you want to call it. Before the game, I think it was on ESPN. There was a graphic that they put up. Teams were like, I don't know, 0 for some number, like 0 for 8 or whatever. The first time they faced Lamar Jackson. The teams don't do well against Lamar Jackson the first time they play him. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't remember what the number was. It was some crazy number that the first time a team sees Lamar Jackson, they don't do very well, and that's what happened to the Lions. They did not do very well. Lamar Jackson torched them through the air. He was very efficient. Beat him on the ground a little bit. But he exposed. The Lions defense is not a great defense. They do have a couple games where they only give up 6 points, but overall it's not a great defense. They do have Aiden Hutchinson, the premier pass rusher in the league. He's sitting there with 4.5 sacks. Alex Anzalone, who's a Pennsylvania kid right down the road here from Wyomissing. I don't know if I think he played for Wyomissing high school. I could be wrong though. They had, a terrific program there in Wyomissing, a couple state championships recently, and every year they're always in district playoffs or in state playoffs and stuff like that, pushing it to the last few weeks of the high school season. But Anzaloni's had a great career so far, in my opinion, anyway. Starting off with the Saints, for a few seasons before he's come to Detroit the last couple seasons. Last year, career year for him, I think it was at 170 tackles. I think I looked at it. Did I write it down? I didn't write it down. It was 170 or 140. I don't remember. But so far this season, 50 tackles, a sack. Having another terrific start to the season. And Jerry Jacobs is their leading defensive back with interceptions. He's 3 picks so far. Looking at their offense, of course, you have Jared Goff out there. A very good quarterback. Took the Rams to the Super Bowl that one season. Came back the next season. Things didn't go well, and then found his ass on the outside looking in. Basically, he and the coach from the Rams, I can't think of his name. I could see the douchebag walking around right now. His little fancy beard and his hair all spiked up and his tight little khakis and stuff, walking around, pacing up and down the field. I can't think of his name right now. Sean something or rather. Is it Sean McDermott? I think so. But anyway, he looks like a douchebag. It's like somebody you'd see at a bar or whatever. You're sitting there and just seem like a smug asshole. But I could be wrong. Maybe he's a nice guy. I don't know. That's that's going off looks. You can't judge a book by its cover. That's what I'm doing. But you shouldn't do that. Looks like a dickhead. Not quite as bad as a dickhead as Max Scherzer, but I ain't going to get into that part of it. That's for the Mets podcast. Stacy Baker hooked me up there. Thank you, Stacy. Sean McVay. I knew it was Sean something. And she thinks he is hot. So there you go. I'm not going to say I think he's hot because I'm a dude. But anyway, I did see a TikTok a while ago, going over a bunch of coaches, and their appearance, and he was one that the ladies swooned over. Sean McVay there. But anyway, Goff found himself on the wrong side with Sean McVay, and that's when they brought in Detroit Lions quarterback. I'm so bad with names. I can't stand it. Drives me nuts. So Goff, he goes to Detroit. There's kind of flip-flop quarterbacks there. And, it's so far with Detroit, he's done fairly decent. Last season, his first season with Detroit, I don't really remember. Last season, he was a little bit better. This year, he's been phenomenal. 174 completions to 256 attempts, 68% completion percentage. 1,902 yards passing, 11 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Beautiful quarterback numbers. I would take that any day. Nope, that's not what we got. David Montgomery, their top running back, 94 carries, 385 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4.1 yards a carry. He's on the injured list this week, but Eileen says that she seconds Stacy's sentiments on Sean McVay. Settle down, ladies. Get a shower or something. Take a cold shower. Christ. Anyway, so then we all know Amon-Ra St. Brown is their top wide receiver. He's one of, like, every season I try to pick him up on fantasy football. I didn't play fantasy football this year. Actually, I did. It's called Lazy Man's Fantasy Football, where you pick a roster, and that's the roster you have. There's no moves to make. That's who you have. And then it takes your top scores, your top points from every position, and that's your score for the week. It's actually pretty neat. But yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 51 catches, 557 yards, 3 touchdowns. Josh Reynolds, their second leading receiver there. Their number 2 receiver, 21 catches, 384 yards, 3 touchdowns. And their Tight end Sam Laporta, 35 catches, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. Very potent offense. Very potent offense. You go back and you look at their season so far. They beat the Chiefs 21-20. That's the kickoff the season, Thursday Night Football. They lost to Seattle in overtime, 37-31. So, again, they put up a decent amount of points but also gave up a lot of points. Then they go ahead and they beat Atlanta 20-6. And Atlanta's not an offensive juggernaut. They beat the Packers 34-20. So they put up a lot of points again. Beat Carolina 42-24. Beat Tampa Bay 20-6. They're sitting there tied with the Eagles for the best record in the league, but then they faltered last week 38-6 against Baltimore. So they're coming out. Their offense is pissed. They're pissed. Their defense is pissed. Everybody is pissed. Dan Campbell, it's a dude you don't want to piss off. He seems like he's a big fellow, kind of angry, looking all the time. So everybody in Detroit's pissed off right now, and it's not the time to be going into Detroit to play this team on Monday Night Football. So it's not going to be a good game. Adam Glenn says Rangers in 6. That's what I got. Also, Adam Glenn, Rangers in 6. Are you going to watch the World Series, Adam? I don't know too many people that are. That's the one thing. If you watched my Mets podcast, The Bat Cave, on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. here on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The one thing I laughed about the Phillies, losing because I'm a Mets fan. I said, the Mets fan in me thinks it's hilarious the Phillies lost. I think it's great. They talked their shit when the Mets, had a terrible season this year about the money and all. $500 million and you can't even make the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Well, the Phillies, they're top 5 in payroll also, in case you didn't know that. It's not $500 million payroll, but still, they spent a lot of money as well. They're not winning the World Series again this year. So I laughed at that, but as a Pennsylvanian, I guess, kind of close to Philly, 95 miles, I kind of feel bad for some of the Phillies fans. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them, like friends that I have that are Phillies fans, much like Adam Glenn, Philly fan, I kind of feel bad for him. A bunch of the guys on the network here, Philly fans. But the Mets fan of me is skipping and, high-fiving myself and laughing as well. So my daughter's a Phillies fan, so I felt bad for her. Adam Glenn says no. He will not be watching the World Series. I'll watch a little bit of it. But then that's one thing that hurts baseball so much is that the Phillies did not get in. I think it would have been a better World Series for television if it was the Phillies and Rangers. Rangers do have an outstanding lineup, and pitching staff's decent. Phillies, outstanding lineup, pitching staff's all right. A lot of star power. But the Diamondbacks, just getting the job done, playing scrappy baseball, which is great. It's not terrible to watch, but you lack that star power for your casual fan. Your baseball fan, somebody that just likes baseball like myself. Like I said, I will watch some of it. It's still fun baseball to watch, watching small ball, watching them just get base hits or bunting, moving runners over, stealing bases. That's a lot of fun to watch. But if you're a casual fan that only watches the World Series or playoffs, you're going to hate it. So Paul Spencer says, I don't have to wear Phillies gear anymore since they lost. Thank God. But have shaved in 2 weeks. Still have bet Cowboys must win 3 games in a row. 2 left. The Cowboys must win 3 games in a row. 2 left, 1 versus Eagles. I'm going to look like your older Asian brother soon. So what, you have to keep growing a beard if the Cowboys don't win 3 in a row? Was that how I'm understanding that? Is that how I read that? Man, I really hope they don't win 3 in a row. I want to see you with a big old coiffy beard. It's a big old Asian beard looking like ramen noodles on your chin. That'd be fantastic. So looking at their defense, and like I said, not a great defense. Alex Anzalone, Jerry Jacobs, Aiden Hutchinson. They do get some pressure. They are very tenacious. So expect a little bit of a workout for our offensive line, who's has not been playing well this year. Like I said, they haven't been giving up a whole lot of sacks, but they are giving up some pressures. They are what was I going to say? They're not run blocking. I lost my train of thought there. I got stuck. Things weren't computing. They're not clearing any running lanes. It's been a real struggle for the offensive line this year, which is a huge reason why I think that we're not putting points on the board. Last year, Josh Jacobs running the ball, that opens up some of the passing game. And it's just not happening. Looking at Jimmy G's numbers, 100. He's 100 completions to 147 attempts, 1,079 yards, a 68% completion percentage, which isn't terrible. That's decent. But 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's shit. That's garbage. This is a guy coming in here. Oh, he takes care of the ball. Jimmy G's a good system quarterback. He takes care of the ball. He doesn't turn it over. He's a winner. He's a winner. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. He played on good teams. Fucking nonsense. He's a winner. He's going to bring a winning attitude. Oh, shucks. Josh Jacobs, 118 carries, 347 yards, 2.9 yards a rush. Shit. 2 touchdowns. And again, that comes to the offensive line. There's so many times, if you watch a Raider game, there's at least a handful of times where he gets the ball and he's being met in the backfield. How are you supposed to? You can't run like that. You cannot run the ball like that. You got to give him a chance. There's been times where he's gotten a chance and he's made plays of it. 7, 8, 9 yards a carry, but the majority of the time he's getting met in the backfield or directly at the line of scrimmage, and there's nowhere for him to go. It's not on. In my opinion, it's not on Josh Jacobs. This starts with the offensive line, and then it trickles down. They're not blocking. Devontae Adams, 46 catches, 528 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jacoby Myers, 37 catches, 385 yards, 5 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, our third leading receiver, 26 catches, 215 yards. And Mayer, 10 catches, 129 yards, our top tight end. So Paul says, they have to win 3 in a row. Not going to happen. You're going to have a big old fuzzy beard. I don't know if you're a Family Guy fan or not, but back one of the older episodes years ago, early seasons, Peter had he grew a beard. I don't remember why he grew the beard. But a bird nested in it, and he still had the nest in his beard with a baby in it. I feel like it was like maybe an endangered species or something like that. But I don't know if that's I'm mixing that up with The Simpsons. I'm not sure. But anyway, he has this beard with that bird in it like it's a nest and stuff, and there's bird shit and bird food and all that stuff in his beard. And the bird tries flying away, leaving the nest, and Peter's not having it. Grabs the bird, or actually shuts the window. The bird flies into the window, picks it up, puts the bird back in the beard. That's what you're gonna have going on there, buddy. You're gonna have a bird beard. Paul says, but I know tonight I'm dropping 50. He's dropping 50 on the Somerset Tigers since we are 7-1 and still called overrated. And number 4 in state rankings. LOL. What's Somerset? Are they any good? Who are they to talk if who's overrated if they stink? So looking at our defense, Max Crosby leading the way, of course. He's our leader. He's Mr. Raider, like I said. 6.5 sacks. Robert Spillane's having a really good season. 57 tackles, 1 sack, 2 interceptions. And Trayvon Mooring's our statistical interception leader in the defensive backfield with 2 interceptions. not having a bad season. The whole Marcus Peters thing from last week, he's getting a ton of heat for his lack of effort tackling. And we didn't bring Marcus Peters into tackle, but part of playing tackle football is tackling. So that's kind of a big thing is the tackle. And there was a couple tackles that he missed. He gave a half-assed effort in tackling somebody. Hopefully he turns this around. Hopefully he gets enough heat this week where he comes out and actually tackles somebody. It's been driving me nuts where it's third and 2, 3rd and 3, and he's 10 yards off the ball, 10 yards off of the guy he's covering. It's been driving me nuts all season. I've mentioned it on here before. You're Marcus freaking Peters. I get it. You're a little bit older, a little bit slower, but still move up on the goddamn guy. Press him a little bit, or you put a little bit of pressure on him. It's 3rd and 3. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an X and O's guy like Paul, who was commenting before, who coaches. He's an X's and O's kind of guy. He's this guy does this guy. Not me. I'm not that guy by any stretch of the imagination. But I know some stupid shit when I see it, and that's some stupid shit right there. And the Raiders' defense has been playing well this season. It's just that 30-12. Couple extra possessions the Bears had due to turnovers, but still, I mean, it's still no excuse. You knew they were going to run the ball, and they ran the ball down our throats, which led to easy passing, not easy passing, but a more open passing game then for the rookie Tyson Badgett. So the Lions, high flying offense, defense. A little bit shaky. So there is a potential we could be in a little bit of a shootout. And that's something that the Raiders aren't geared for. We haven't shown that our offense could score in a shootout. But if we want to win the game, we're going to have to put some serious points up on the board. I don't know if we can do it. So I'm not expecting a positive outcome on Monday night. I think if they're able to get pressure on Jared Goff, and force the Lions to a short passing game, get the ball out quick, and if we're able to kind of tighten up the secondary a little bit, I feel like we have a shot. But without pressure, we got nothing. And it can't be just coming from Max. Tyree Wilson has to be able to get in the backfield. He's been doing better. He's been doing much better. Got his first sack last week. But it starts with Max. He's going to get pressure on the quarterback. Leads the league in quarterback pressures with 35. Second in the league is Aiden Hutchinson for the Lions with 34, where Max has 34 and he has 33, whatever it is. It's something like that. So Max is going to put the pressure on. We need other people. We need Tyree Wilson from the other side. Linebacker blitzes. We need Spillane getting there. Guys like that. Adam Butler up the middle. Clogging it up. Nice to see Brian Young there or Nesta Jade Silvera. The rookies. See if they can get in there some playing time. I don't know. We'll see what the inactives look like come Monday. But I haven't seen a whole lot from those guys yet this season. So the Jay Fine Law defensive player to watch this week for me is Amik Robertson. Defensive back. He's having an okay season. He had a better season last year. So far, it's been okay. It hasn't been great. It hasn't been good. Hasn't been bad either. But it's been okay. I'm looking for him to have a bigger game. You have to figure somebody's going to have to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I hope to God it's not Marcus Peters. He's going to line up 50 yards off the line of scrimmage if he has cover St. Brown. So hopefully it's somebody like Robertson or David Long, somebody that's going to actually get up there and compete with St. Brown. Make him work for his catches and stuff and his yards. So we're going to watch Amik Robertson this week, see how he does. Hopefully Jacorian Bennett comes back soon. He's out with a knee and an ankle, I think it is, or knee and shoulder. Hopefully he plays this week, and we could use all the help we can get in the backfield. And Nate Hobbs is still out. I think he's listed as questionable. But again, we won't know until Monday, until we get the final medical report to see who's in, to see who's out. I know they're hopeful that Jimmy G is going to play. And, he does give us the best chance to win, so I'll give him that. Our Dugout Mugs offensive player to watch for me this week has been it'll be Colton Miller, our left tackle, and Jimmy Garoppolo. So I'm going with two players. So Colton Miller is our best offensive lineman. He's our anchor. I think he was a third-round pick a few years ago. He's a very good left tackle, very good. And he's going to have his hands full, with Aiden Hutchinson. So if he's able to keep Hutchinson off of Jimmy G, able to slow that rush down him and the other linemen, I think Jimmy G's going to have a good game. And I picked Jimmy G as the offensive player to watch as well. Coming off an injury, is he going to be, is he going to be spooked back there still? Because you watch Jimmy G, pass in the last couple games, his feet are pitter pattering, before he throws the ball. Is that what he's going to look like, or is he going to be able to be calm, relaxed? Plenty of time back there to throw the ball. We'll see. But if he has time, he can't. He does complete at a high rate, a lot of completions. Just not a lot. Not a lot of yards go with him. Can he protect the ball? No turnovers. That'd be huge. If we can come out of this game with no interceptions, it would be huge. It'd be a nice game for Jimmy G right now. It'd be like 20 for 30, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That'd be perfect for Jimmy G. Perfect. And the out of the box sports entertainment rookie to watch this week, I'm going to go with Trey Tucker again. I picked him a few weeks ago. Actually, I think I picked him the first week, and he was inactive. They didn't even play him. So I'm picking him again. The breakout ability of this kid, it's there. You've got to utilize it. You got to give him a chance. Get the ball into his hands. I know they try reverses with him, but that's kind of predictable now. Because every time he's on the field, you're expecting a reverse because they're not throwing to him all that often. Give him some screens or something. Give him some slants. Something where you can get running. Anything. Because he's fast and he's shifty and he has big play written all over him. So those are the players to watch. I got a comment here from Paul. He said the Somerset Tigers are 6-2. Well, that should be a pretty good game then, Paul. Let's see what happens. Are they ranked in the state? Now, what age group is this? I think it goes by weight, you said, or something like that. 140 pounds or I don't know, 140 pounds and under or something like that. If they went by weight when I played, Jesus Christ, I would have had to play high school right away. All right, so I'm going to pay some bills here. I'm going to do our sponsor reads. And before I move on to the LA Kings, some quick Kings talk here. Before I take a little bit of a nap. Before I got to pick the boy up. All right. We'll start off with the OG. Jay Fine, where's he at? Where's he at? There he is. Everything's moved around. Jay Fine Law, Jason Fine. You can reach Big Al, attorney Big Al. You can reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Big Al specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman's comp, and personal injury claims, much like Jimmy G's back. You got a workman's comp thing going on there for Jimmy G. So he probably contacted Jason Fine to hook him up and get him his money for workman's comp. They has 3 office locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The office in New Jersey is located at Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 3 Greensward Lane. The number there is 856-209-5258. And then in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the office is located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The number there is 412-365-8151. And then in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the office is located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, Attorney Big Al. Tell him Out of the Box Sports Entertainment sent you. Hook you up. And then we go on to Monkey Colt Coffee. Go to monkeycoltcoffee.com. Get all your coffee there. Get the OG coffee, the original goat. Bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee. Fantastic. My personal favorite is a toasted coconut rum. I love that coffee. It smells great. Tastes great. You know, there's nothing like a good coffee. You get the aroma from a good coffee. It's awesome. That's why you see those Folgers commercials, where the people in the house, they smell it first before they see it or taste it. That's how the toasted coconut rum is. You smell that toasted coconut rum. It's fantastic. They also have a Sumatran medium roast blend, very good. And their newest blend, an organic blend, Perula, Florida, from their Global Gourmet Collection. Like I said, I don't know how to say it. I don't know if I'm supposed to kind of give it like a Latino flair, like Perula, Florida. I don't know if I'm supposed to I don't know if that's, a Latino flair or not. But I'm going to say it hillbilly style and go, Perula, Florida. That's what I'm going to do. At monkeycoltcoffee.com. Then, after you got yourself a couple bags of coffee, head over to the swag shop and get yourself a T-shirt or a coffee mug or a tumbler, the cold brew pitcher. That's fantastic. I like that get up. The K-Cup adapter. And don't forget your Paradise rum cake before you head on over to the register to check out. And at the checkout, use that promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off. The promo code, once again, is OOTB Sports at monkeycoltcoffee.com. And finally, we have Dugout Mugs. Head on over to dugoutmugs.com for your ultimate game day mug. They have all the baseball teams. So if you're a Rangers fan or a Diamondbacks fan, teams in the World Series here, get your asses over to dugoutmugs.com and get yourself a mug with your team's logo on it. And if you're not a baseball fan, but you think, hey, you know what, that's a pretty cool idea anyway, you can get another logo on it. You can get anything on it you want. Maybe a football team logo or something. Maybe Paul can get his team's logo on there. Or if you have like a family crest, if you're like a 13th century knight or something like that, and you have your family's crest, you go ahead and get that put on a dugout mug. They have a bunch of different varieties of dugout mugs, different styles and stuff like that. So go to dugoutmugs.com, check that stuff out. They got something for everybody there. Christmas is right around the corner, so get your orders in. Use that promo code at checkout, OOTB Sports 20 for 20% off. That promo code, once again, is OOTB Sports 20 at dugoutmugs.com. There we go. Here we go. Yeah. Got a comment? We got Eileen with the little hockey stick gimmick there with the puck. Yep, we're going to talk a little bit of puck there. I'm not a puck aficionado. I'm kind of a novice, or a noob, I guess you'd call it. But anyway, so talking a little bit of LA Kings, let me switch the old background here to make it look professional. Paul does a hell of a job with these. I don't want to waste them. Got to use them. There we go. Real quick before I move on, I got to give my prediction for the Raiders Lions game. It's kind of like Rocky 3 when they asked Mr. T for his prediction, of his match with Rocky, and Mr. T says, pain. That's what I predict for the Raiders Lions, pain. I think the Lions are going to win. What did I say? So at the beginning of the season, I did my my predictions for the whole schedule. I had the Raiders losing to the Lions 34-27. So I'll stick with that. I don't think it's going to be that close, but that's what I have. That's what I'm going to stick with anyway. 34-27. The Raiders keep it close. Just fall short on Monday Night Football. If that's the score, I could live with that. It's going to be an exciting Monday Night Football game if that ends up being the score. If that ends up being the score. So let's talk about a team that actually wins some goddamn games. Here we go. The LA Kings. All right. So I kind of froze there for a second. I'm looking at my box here. I'm kind of a little bit off center with the Kings logo here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're good. Kings. They only had one game since the last time I've been on. Actually, they played against the Phoenix Coyotes, who they played several times in the preseason. A couple times over in Australia. They played them the other night, won 6-3. The offense has been clicking really, really nicely so far this early in the season. Kings are sitting at 3-2-1. I really like where they're at right now, offensively. Anyway, defensively, it's the same. I have the same gripes I did last year. I just feel like they don't clear the traffic out in front of the net. You know, in front of Phoenix Copley and Cam Talbot. I just feel like they're not clearing the traffic. I mean, I don't know if it's just I don't understand the game anymore. So I used to watch a lot of hockey when I was younger, a lot of hockey. It didn't matter if it was the Kings or not. I always enjoyed watching the Devils and Flyers, Devils, Rangers, Flyers, Rangers, Blackhawks, Red Wings. Red Wings, Avalanche was always a huge game back then. Kings and who the Kings used to have a really good rivalry with somebody back then. I can't think of it. I want to say that was the Avalanche too, but I don't think it was. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I just remember a more physical, like one of the main things of your defense was to clear the bodies out in front of the goalie. You didn't want anybody standing in front of the goalie, and anytime somebody parked their ass in front of the goalie, they got pushed out. They got hit. You just don't see that. I don't know if that's a Kings thing or not. I have to watch more hockey, I guess. I don't know. But it seems like, a guy parks his ass in front of the goalie. Well, then a defenseman comes and parks next to him. It's like, Jesus Christ, push him, do something, slash him or get a handful of shaved ice and throw it in his face. I don't know. Do something. So that's the one thing that still really frustrates me watching the game. I feel like the Kings are moving the puck really nicely in offense. I'm still waiting for Quentin Byfield to really kickstart it. I was a big fan of his last year. He was getting a lot of heat last year, his rookie season. But every time I watch the Kings, I felt like he'd have a good game. He wasn't really showing up on the points, the stats, or anything like that, and goals and assists and points and stuff. But I felt like whenever he was out there, the hustle was there, the physicality was there, making some decent passes, taking some decent shots as well. Just the puck's not going in the net. The season I haven't been able to watch every game, but some of the games that I've caught parts of, you just not taking that next step forward. Now Lair, rookie this year, I thought he's looked really good so far. He's been super physical. He's a big dude, and he's making plays happen. He's doing a hell of a job, Lair. I think so. Anyway, I think his plus minus is like a -2, but still, it seems like he's getting a lot of really good looks. Whenever he's out there, it feels like the level of excitement comes up a little bit. So far this season, our leading points guy is Kevin Fiala, 1 goal, 8 assists. Then you have Anze Kopitar, 7 points, 3 goals, 4 assists. Trevor Moore's having a pretty decent offensive season so far. 5 goals, 1 assist for 6 points. Kempe, 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. Philippe Deneau, 5 points, 1 goal, 4 assists. Pierre-Luc Dubois, the new guy, 4 points. That's 3 goals, 1 assist. And Blake Lazard, he's been playing well. He has a +4 so far. The plus minus, he's at a +4. That's pretty good leading the team there. So like I said, about the Kings offense, scoring a decent amount of goals. The last 2 games that I've watched, the games were somewhat tight. Like the game against the Coyotes. I feel like it was 5-3. I feel like it was 5-3, and before they pulled their goalie, and that's how the Kings got their sixth goal. The game, I think it was the game before. I don't remember who it was against, but the Kings were up. I think it was 4-3. I feel like it was 4-3. The other team pulled their goalie. They got an empty net, and so it's 5-3. The other team pulled their goalie again. We got another empty netter, and that equaled to 6 goals again. So the offense is doing great, but I think that number's a little bit inflated with a couple of those empty netters. But you take them whenever you can get them. Take them whenever you can get them. It doesn't really matter. You're working your ass off out there. If you can get an empty net goal, you get an empty net goal. You take it any way you can get it. Between the pipes, Cam Talbot has been playing pretty decent, sitting at 2-2. Giving up 3 goals a game, 3 goals against average, and his save percentage 900. You want that a little bit higher yet, because it seems like he's going to be our starter. He's going to be our number one so far in this early part of the season. He's played well. Phoenix Copley, I thought he played well against the Coyotes the other night. Some really nice saves. I gave up a couple early goals. I think the Kings. I think the Kings were down 2-1 early in the first, I think. I could be wrong with that, though. I'm trying to remember back. But Phoenix was able to button it down, make some really big saves throughout that game, and the Kings were able to pull away eventually. And so he's sitting at 1-0-1, 3.86 goals against, and then a save percentage of 8.26. Got to get that up. That's kind of where Cal Peterson and Jonathan Quick were last season. And the Kings, were playing terrific offense early last year, but the goaltending was just god awful. It was so bad. Anytime we'd had a 2-goal lead, it evaporated like that. It was a running joke on the radio, because I listened to a lot of the games on the radio last season, and it was a running joke whenever the Kings got up by 2 goals, like, the dreaded 2-goal lead. And within a couple minutes, it was gone. It was all tied up again. It was unbelievable. But that's kind of right around where Cal Peterson and Quickie were. They're around low 800s in the save percentage. And, that's what got their asses demoted and traded. So I think Phoenix will turn it around. I think we have a good goalie tandem here. And I also think we have a couple decent goalies in with the Ontario Reign in the system. So I think we're all right in the goalie area right now. We'll see what happens. Moving on, if Cam Talbot is able to keep improving, then Phoenix kind of regains his form from last season that made him kind of like a savior last season, Phoenix Copley, because after we demoted Cal Peterson, traded away Jonathan Quick, Phoenix Copley came in and really did a heck of a job. Won a lot of games, didn't lose many. Save percentage was the low 900s. He did a really good job. And unfortunately, when we did trade Jonathan Quick to the Columbus Blue Jackets, bringing in Korpisalo, the Phoenix Copley was sharing time with Korpisalo, which was fine. Korpisalo was playing terrific as well. But in the playoffs against the Oilers, they ate Korpisalo up, and they didn't really, for some reason, we didn't really give Phoenix Copley a shot. So that's a bit of a bummer. That's one thing I was kind of bummed about last season. It sucks losing to the Oilers again in the first round, but it was kind of a bummer. It's like, this guy played terrific all season for us. Why are we not giving him a chance? I don't know. So the Kings play tonight against Phoenix again, down in Phoenix. The Coyotes. I don't know how do you say? Do you say Coyotes or Coyotes? I mean, I guess there's no way of putting it in the comments, because they're all both going to say the same. So if you say Coyotes, put down a number 1. If you say Coyotes, put down a number 2. There we go. That's how we'll figure that out. I always, whenever I watch that movie, Varsity Blues, They're the Coyotes, but they call them the Coyotes. So I guess that's a Southern thing. Like, go Coyotes. You have what the hell is his name? I don't know, Jonathan something or rather, the quarterback. I can't think of his real name right now. Eileen says number 2 for Coyotes. There you go. That's how I say. I say Coyotes. I think Coyotes is like a Southern thing, maybe. I don't know. If Stacy Northrup was on, she'd be able to tell us. Yeah, so that's all I got. The Kings are playing well offensively. Vladislav Gavrikov, I thought, has been playing excellent defense. He's played really good defense. Let's say Ferrier, I think he's playing well. England's been playing all right. A young guy. I don't know. I think he's a rookie. I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go. James Vanderbeek. Yeah. That one. Not Paul Walker. He hurt his leg. He lost his full ride to Florida State. Then his girlfriend tried to slut herself out because he lost his full ride. That's the one thing. I don't know if you would see something like that. Like that's the one thing I'd never really, liked about the movies when he tore up his knee. He lost his full ride to Florida State. I'm like, if he's good enough, they'll just redshirt him and he'll be back. He'll play his sophomore season. If he's that good, he'll still get his full ride. But maybe he wasn't as good as he thought he was. Maybe that's why he lost his full ride. Maybe Florida State was like, dodge that bullet. I don't know. I think we need another Varsity Blues movie to kind of see. Well, I guess we can't. Paul Walker's dead. That's unfortunate. But anyway, I was gonna say, see if he was, if he ended up coaching the Coyotes. Did James Vanderbeek become a scientist or wherever he was going? He was going to Brown or wherever he was going. Him and his girlfriend. I don't know. And what happened to Bacon? Did Bacon become Bacon? I don't know. Stuff that I want to know. All right, so that's all I have for today. See if there's a show schedule here. See if this is up to date. No. All right, so there is no Atomic Drop tonight. Atomic Drop is on tomorrow night at 11 p.m. You have the Golden Dome podcast tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sunday, don't forget to check out the Big Blue Power Hour, talking New York Giants football at 11 a.m. on Sunday. So those are the shows for the rest of this weekend as far as I know. Be sure to go back and check out our shows that were on earlier this week and see what you missed. Especially the Batcave from this past Wednesday, where I laugh at the Phillies for losing, and then I cried for them losing. I'm like, ha ha, you guys lost. I'm like, I'm sorry you guys lost. My friends, I don't want to see them sad. I don't want to see my friends upset. I don't want to see my daughter sad because of the Phillies loss. But fills my heart with joy when they lose. Not as much as the Braves. When the Braves lose, my heart is like the Grinch's heart. It grows, 3 times that day. So, all right. So that's all I got. I'm going to get the hell out of here. I'm going to go to bed. I'm kind of rambling now. Thank you for checking the show out, everybody. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. It makes things a lot easier when you comment. I'm sorry I forget everybody's names when I'm talking about sports. I can't remember. Still can't think of it. The quarterback for the Rams. I used to be the quarterback for the Lions. I could picture him in my head. I can't think of his name right now. All right. I'm out of here. Let me pull up the old video. Thanks for checking the show out. I got a couple comments. That's what I'm trying to waste time here to see if I have any more. Thank you, Eileen, so much. You're the best. It would have killed. I would have, as soon as I would have came off the air, I would have looked this up. But you hooked me up here. Matt Stafford. Matthew. It's not Matt. It's Matthew Stafford. So, and I knew golf because we're playing golf. I said golf the first time. Golf. We're playing golf. So I remember his name. I could remember Stafford. I could picture Stafford. Goofy look he always has on his face, but I couldn't think of his name for anything. As soon as I would have shut this off, or as soon as I would have hit the music, I was going to grab my phone and look it up real because I couldn't. It was driving me nuts. Thank you, Eileen. You're the best. All right. Thanks for checking the show out. Be sure to check me out and Cowboy Dave, 11 p.m. Saturday night with the Atomic Drop podcast talking WWE wrestling. Check out all of our shows, Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitch. Like, follow, subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well so it lets you know when all of our shows are on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. We're also on the TikTok and the Instagram. All right. So I am out of here. Until next time, thank you very much. Just win, baby. Go Kings, go.